Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rise Up Market Watch Monday. Rise Up Market Watch. It is another Monday with myself and also Doug. And I was waiting for that sheep to come in through again because I was like, wait a second, that song's not done. For some reason, there is a sheep sound. And all I can think of is Keith, who makes the jingles for the 3 different shows we have at the Rise Up Morning Show, that he just kind of wanted to either fuck with us or he's like, hey, it's nighttime. Maybe people want to count sheep and go to bed. I don't know. Either way, I like it. But Doug, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Actually, I didn't hear the sheep because I was sharing the links. Like, I guess I missed it. So, you know.
Sounded like that.
Yeah.
I could help. But dude, how you doing? How was your weekend? How was your day?
I'm good. I'm actually great. Today was a good day. Today was a exciting day in the markets for me. Had a little bit of a moment from going back a couple of years ago, but it's good. Things are good.
Was it good because you set a short? Was it good because you feel good, positive vibes? Was it good because you realized that through a stroke of amnesia that suddenly disappeared, you realized that you are Satoshi Nakamoto and you have all that Bitcoin?
That would be crazy. No, definitely not. No. I sold mine like in 2017, way too early. So no, that's definitely not me. No, I today did a little challenge with my friends from home. I'm like, hey, we did a 5 SOL challenge because they keep asking me what to buy. I'm like, let's stop. Just send it a wallet. I'll do some things. And today, with memes in general, I did probably the best day of the entire year. And the reason I'm telling you this is that it was easy. And I remember back in 2023 November, because it was right after going into the fall when the market started really moving again. And I started trading memes. Like at this point, I'm like, I'm really into TA. Like I'm like, I got this. I've crafted my trade, 5,000 plus hours. I'm like, I'm gonna crush it. Injective protocol, Solana, all the good one, render. That was time those were pumping, and all of a sudden memes were coming. And I started trading memes, and I'm like, this is even easier. And I actually got angry. I'm like, this is what no, this shouldn't be. I want to trade the things that are the big things. Like, no, the memes are easy. So the last time I felt the way I did today was then. So it's like, let's imagine that it's October 2023 now. That's where my head's at. And I'm kind of going with that just because it was, flowing. So I'm excited.
So you were excited because today felt easy again for you?
That is it. You got it.
Oh, lovely, man.
Well, yeah. And that means the reason I'm telling you this is because the next 4 months will be bullish. That's why I'm telling you this. It's because that's.
Oh, because now you're feeling like it's easy mode again. So now It's 4 months of easy money time.
That is what I'm trying to manifest through the show.
Hey, everyone, you heard it here first. Guaranteed up only for 4 months by Doug Trendrift. Guaranteed only.
No.
100x long from right here, right now.
Don't do that.
Sell your kidney. Well, dude, what were the moves you were making? And also, what about this challenge with your friends that you
set? It was more because I was just getting frustrated on having to give them guidance. Like, oh, Doug, what do I buy? I'm like, did you set up your wallet yet? No. I'm like, okay, well, we should do that. So this was more of a way for me to say, hey, you guys want exposure? Let's just do this and see what happens. And we picked a good day to start today. But yeah.
Well, hey, we can start off. What were the first things you were looking at?
Oh,
what were the plays you were making?
So if you really want to talk through it, I mean, I can pull up a chart if you want. Do you want to look at the charts like that? Let's see.
That's kind of the point of the show.
I wasn't. Well, I was ready to pull up the big markets. That's what I was ready to pull up.
I know, but now I want to see what's making you feel good.
I'm not prepared. You got it. Hold on here. Share my screen. And by the way, I was streaming earlier on the pump.fun server. That's fun, by the way. It's a different crowd. It's a good time.
I imagine it's a very different crowd.
Yeah. Where am I going here? I'm going to this screen. Too many windows, Will. Too many windows. Chrome tab.
I would imagine it's a lot of people who just kind of like barely have their lives together, or it's hanging on by just a thread, and you can just feel that feral energy.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I would say it's better. It's better than that.
Okay.
I'm shocked. I mean, there's been good questions, and not to just pass judgment at pump.fun, but yeah, they were good questions. I was excited. So, all right, let me flip here to do the first one was, so with memes just in general, if anyone does decide to go into the casino where you just assume that you're going to lose everything.
Quick question. Can
yes.
you do the same screen share on TikTok, or do you want me to flip my camera?
I can do that. I got you. Will.
You're going to have to tell me how you do that someday.
I don't even know how to do it. Let's see if it makes this thing work here.
Damn
A
it.
little fuzzy.
And that's called job security, everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know how I do it. It just happens. Well,
the AI can't do that. It can't do what I just did.
Yeah,
The robot could. But yeah. Okay. So, yes, it's actually started yesterday. So with memes, again, if you decide to go in the casino, assume you're going to lose everything. If you go with that, you only end up losing everything or better. So just put that out there. The meta, like the narratives that kind of start.
What's that? You either meet expectations or you win.
That's it, right? It's like exactly like it's just yeah. So I think it was on Sunday. This is the first thing that popped off that I started seeing. So I just catch, obviously the things trending, or you see it all across Twitter, and it was Clippy, and I'm like, I love Clippy, and I had it was way back when Microsoft was launching the first version of Copilot. And I was like,
wait. Yeah. Oh, it's Clippy.
Oh, it's Clippy. Oh, it's Clippy.
God. Okay. I was like,
oh yeah, dude.
Like, I wasn't wondering what this is. I was like, why does this feel of familiarity? And I was like, oh my God, the nostalgia.
Exactly. So when that popped off, I was like, oh, I got to pay attention to this. And I like Clippy because I think Clippy got screwed, because I thought Copilot, they needed a name for the thing, the AI. Microsoft didn't call it Clippy. And it was years ago anyway, different conversation, different day with the Microsoft guys, but Clippy got screwed. So when I saw this pop up, I'm like, oh, what is this? So I go look at it, and I see it, the chart just exploding out of nowhere on Sunday. And so this pops up, and oh, wow, they changed the website. They made, okay, I like this project more. There was an individual on YouTube who had has a large following, more professional business type content. And he started the stream off on just saying some of the things that Facebook now is doing with your data. And he gave an example, and it was horrible. And then he mentioned about, hey, remember back in the day when, the Clippy days, when, let's say the government cared about things. They put more pressure on companies. He was talking about Microsoft putting a browser inside the operating system. Now, I was too young to know that was an issue at the time. We're like, you can't do that. I don't know the reason behind it, but that was one of the things. And now it's like, there are no rules at all. So the whole point of Clippy is the guy was basically going to say, hey, everyone change your profile picture to Clippy. And we're saying it's almost like a movement on saying, hey, data privacy rights for us, corporations are using our data. So all the things that are, we should have been talking about for the last 4 years is now, has a little movement here, and Clippy is the poster child of it. So I'm super excited to be part of this, the Clippy PFP cult, as you would call it. So yeah, this thing, 2 million to 36 million within 2 days. And for me, I love it because I saw the charts here. Look at this. You see this dragon here? I mean, this is a serpent. See the serpent? This is a serpent. The serpent. You see the serpent? You just know. You just know what's coming next. A little consolidation, and then pop off the top. So
you start paying attention to this. When did you start being like, oh, I should look at this as something to trade? This past weekend. Did you have an alert set up?
Excuse me?
Did you have an alert set up, or have you?
No. It was just more on Twitter. Saw it pop up there, and I don't use any tools. I probably should use tools as much as it seems like, oh, I'm tech savvy. I'm like, no, I don't really do any real TA. I'm just like vibe charting and not using any of the apps that I probably pay for to notify me of stuff. And it just, things pop up and you get lucky here and there. And then it becomes easy, like now. So that's that. So that's part one, Will, answer your question. And then part 2 and 3, really quick. I then rolled it into my TikTok, the TikTok meme here. 6-7. Wait,
so hang on a second. So what was the move that you made on Clippy? Did you just buy? Was it a long? Was it a short?
Oh, they're all longs. There's no. Actually, there is a place I think you can short memes. Like not.
Where did you set the long position?
You could do it in Axiom.
No. I mean, like where?
Here
into your position. Yeah.
Oh, down at million.
Mm-hmm. So what did you see? Just if someone's asking, well, what did you see that made you go, cool, like this is an obvious long position?
So we just looked at it on the bigger picture. See that right there?
Yep.
So it's almost like it's threefold. So there's a smaller version of it down here, bigger version here, and now we're at the bigger one. So it's just, this is my obscure way of looking at charts, is that when I see patterns that are not necessarily the ones you say, hey, Google, show me what a falling wedge looks like. It gives you the whole chart of all the charts.
Yep.
The ones that are obscure are the ones that I look for. And when I see them, I take advantage of them, because usually more times than not, they play out. So that's not good advice for someone new who's charting. I can't describe this exact situation more than that, but if anything, with a meme is a market that moves. There's a lot of volume. It looks very, very, lots of thick candles. I'm trying to find some thick candles here. It's hard to see in here. Just very, very nice, very flowy. Flowy is a good way to put it. I'm not a great teacher. Not a great teacher.
What I see as well is, I can't point towards it, but the very beginning of that dragon tail, if you can scroll back the other way, the very beginning of that dragon tail, you see that first move up, and then it's kind of in the pits for a while. But after had another big move upwards, you can see that. Hang on a second. Hang on, Doug. Stop moving the chart for just 1 second. I'm like, oh, where am I? Where am I?
Try to center it.
Yeah. So drag that circle over to basically 12, where it says 12 o'clock. A little bit more left. A little bit more left. More lefter. The leftiest. There it is. A little, yeah. So that first long wick upwards and that first long green candle, that's coming off of the previous highs that we had in that general channel area. Actually, hold on a second. Let me pull it up on my chart. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm not good at the descriptive side of the equation there, so.
Oh, it's all good, man. Oh, is Clippy like brand new?
Yeah, these are so the first 72 to 9. This is why I like memes. God. The first 72 to 96 hours of a meme now determines its history. Its existence.
I would like to point out that I haven't been on a 10-minute chart, I think, in 3 years. What have you done to me? So hang on a second. I'm going to share my screen real quick, because I think this is something that someone could look at and recognize who isn't as experienced as you are, Doug, and being like, oh, okay, like maybe that's an entry zone that I could do. So I'm just going to share the screen here. Share screen, Clippy. So this is Clippy. I'm just going to clean up the chart here. Oh, and my screen is sharing on. Oh, that's your camera.
Wait, Clippy's on TradingView?
Yeah, it's on TradingView.
What market is that?
This is KCEX.
It's already on exchanges.
Yeah, there it is. Exchange from somewhere.
Okay. So
what I see is, we had a run upwards here and a fall down. But what I'm most interested in is, this looks different to me. So let's see. We found a general support range here, right? And what I first see is, if we're looking at this on the 10-minute time frame, which to me is crazy if you're new. However, just imagine that this were a longer term time frame. We're just using this from an educational standpoint for somebody as experienced as Doug. And do what you want, play in the markets where you are experienced and you feel like you can make money. So the first thing that I see is, with a new coin, you don't really have long-term exponential moving averages or simple moving averages. Long-term exponential moving averages, simple moving averages are stronger. They're stronger areas of support, stronger areas of resistance. So what I'm seeing here, and again, we're looking at the 10-minute time frame for Clippy, is I see a double bottom here and right here. At the same time, we see this purple line is created and this orange line is created. That is the 200 exponential moving average and the 200 simple moving average. So I go, okay, cool. I have a double bottom here. That's a sign of a potential bottom. At the same time, I find that it's finding that same support on key exponential and simple moving averages. This is an interesting position to maybe buy a spot position or maybe set along, right? And you could potentially play that. Now, if it falls down underneath, you have to keep your eyes open for that. But that was the potential signal for me, somebody who relies more on traditional technical analysis. That's something that I would see and go, okay, cool. Maybe there's actually something to this coin. and then it's set up to rip. And I would imagine that this rip it had here was its listing on a centralized cryptocurrency exchange. And the next thing that I would be looking for is I would be looking to see if it would ever come back down and touch support off of this big previous high, right? Or if it sets another big double bottom. And that would be my ideal buy target. You might not get it, but that would be my ideal buy target. And if it saw a big pump off of that, I'd re-enter. So that's how I would be looking at this. And especially because with a meme coins pump hard when they pump, and they dump even harder when they dump. So even if your ideal price target's like pretty far down, still totally within reach.
So I just, as you were describing that, I realized, so you obviously you're on a 10-minute chart. You said you usually look at larger time frames. The reason I like memes so much is ones with volume like that move a lot out of the gate is because they almost act exactly like a larger market would. So it's almost like it's just sped up, because everything now it's like, oh, we need the dopamine, we need the TikTok swipe. Well, hey, I can, instead of looking at a chart for, I'm not advocating, by the way, to go trade memes, by the way, to like learn properly, but they move. And when they move, they, you know, the thought of the rug part of the equation, like those checks I had prior, kind of are minimized. And also too, that big move that was up, that wasn't even because of exchange. That's just because of how the markets move on the decentralized world, because you start seeing larger tickets come in. And anyway, different conversation. Well, if you really want to dive into it one day, but gladly go into the meme strategy. But really, in the end, it's like, what's topical right now that people are probably going to pay attention to for longer than 12 hours? Mm-hmm. That's it. That's your box to be checked.
Well, I do want to spend time looking at one more meme coin.
Sure.
And that is because it's Farcoin. And because Farcoin has been a pretty well documented, especially by you, leading indicator for the altcoin market.
Yes. So let's pull that up.
Because I saw a bunch of people talking about Farcoin earlier today about how it's bloodbath right now, which makes sense because Bitcoin had a really big pullback today. We'll pull up Bitcoin's chart next because it had greatly overextended from where it was over the weekend, and there was a gap created on the futures chart. We'll talk about that in a second. But for those of you who don't know, Farcoin has been a kind of leading coin. Whatever trend the market goes in over the past couple months or so, Farcoin has been one of the first ones to pump, one of the first ones to dump, and set the current trend that then the rest of the altcoin market kind of followed afterwards. It's been an interesting little phenomenon that I'm sure at some point that trend will end, but as of right now, it has been a leading indicator.
And I don't know why, and I'm just kind of running with it, right? Let's get rid of some of these drawings here in the middle. So this chart, I tell my girlfriend all the time, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to print out an 8-hour version of this chart, and I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it on the mantle that we don't have, just because it's just such a pretty chart. I mean, it does all the things.
I'm sure your girlfriend loves you.
She loves it.
Decorating design ideas.
I'll at least leave the ticker off. Let's just go that. We'll leave the ticker off. We'll just focus on the charts, you know?
Oh, well, I'm glad there's a middle ground being met.
Of course. So this market, as Will said, for whatever reason, has been kind of my proxy for what happens next with altcoins. And maybe because it's like an embodiment of this cycle, Farcoin is I think it's one of the first, I can't say it's one of the first memes that has ended up on, a Bloomberg or MSNBC or CNBC, ticker line, but it got attention, I think, because it's the ridiculousness of Farcoin.
Was it on a CNBC ticker line?
Oh yeah. Oh no. It was mentioned. I'm exaggerating for effect there. Maybe one day it will be.
At 24/7, the word fart and just how well it's doing is just perpetually on 24/7 cable news. I'd be like, we did it, guys. Crypto won.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in 2025 something like that happening. I don't know. So what we've been watching, if I really zoom in here, is after the pullback. Oh wow, you're getting super yachts there on TikTok. I've never seen that before. Who's getting gifts?
Now if we just had one in real life. Thanks, Solemn. Appreciate it, buddy.
This moved down. So let's go. We're some time here. Give me a. So this is mid-July, drawdown, whole market. And then since the first August, basically since August, which is basically down here, has been move up, and it's been really nice without a little bit of noise in between here overall. But today, if I zoom in here for the folks that are on TikTok, this is a nasty candle. This is a, oh man, what is risk reduction here? I've got my tools ready. We got here from the highs, 20% dip in a day. So usually when I see something like that, even like over here, it's a warning signal to be like, okay, alts may follow. Now it's not absolutely fact. Actually, there was an individual on Twitter who had to try to prove me wrong, saying you can't, that doesn't make any sense. You can't do that. I'm like, hey, it's been working for me for 6 months. So until it doesn't work, keep going with it. But yeah, so so I'm now, my eyes are going to be very much watching SOL. SOL's the first one, and ETH. I mean, those are the two in general I think we have to pay attention to as really going to dictate where we go next. But I have nothing but positive to say at the moment.
Yep. And here's what I'll say about Farcoin being a leading indicator recently is of the past few months. At some point, that's going to stop.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like 100%. It's every trend stops eventually. And especially with a meme coin too, I feel like it can't last for too much longer just because there's always a new meme coin that becomes the leader for a little bit. And then all meme coins, for the most part, not all, but most, 99% of them, become what a meme coin was destined to become, which is just in crater. And that's 99%, right? Obviously, we have exceptions to that. The meme coins that survive, just know that there was a few million that were created that are absolutely cratered. Right.
You want a stat, by the way? 100,000 tokens, I think, on Pump.Fund yesterday, and I want to say 800 bonded. That's like 0.8%. It's still a number. So it's still a ridiculous number, but it's a number.
It's crazy how popular still Pump.Fund is, despite I don't hear about Pump.Fund quite as much as I used to. That maybe we're all just used to it, and we just know that the Pump meme coin casino on Solana is still just there and running, and the phenomena with it is gone. But I hear about it less, and so when I still hear that it's doing so well, in my head I'm like, well, people have learned their lessons. They're not throwing away all of their money in Pump.Fund anymore because the overwhelming majority of people lose, you know. So, but
they still are.
The same thing happens with casinos, and casinos are doing great. So, hey, you know. They
are still very much doing that. Oh, but now it's coming out of Bonk too, and Moon. They're just we're launching more apps to launch more memes. That's what we've been doing this cycle very well.
It's what the people want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now I wanted to. Oh my god! I just pulled up Solana, but it was on the 10-minute chart, and I was like, "What happened?" It was like falling like a rock, and I was like, "What's going on?"
What do you want to show here?
I want to show Solana, Ethereum, and I want to show some Bitcoin as well. So I'm going to share my screen real quick because you mentioned, we're really keeping our eyes on Ethereum and Solana and things look good. And I would generally agree, right? And I'm more so looking at things on like the weekly time frame, the daily time frame. I don't really care about so much myself. So this is Solana on the weekly time frame, and this is Solana on the Coinbase chart. So this is just the extent of price history we have on Coinbase. Solana's been around for a little bit longer, but what we see here is I am looking at some higher lows. I'm looking at some higher highs, right here, higher highs, higher lows. We have some positive momentum. We are in a channel. Now, this could potentially be a bear flag of sorts, but I am personally not expecting that to really kind of hold up because the breakout target for that to the downside would be like, could you imagine buying Solana at about $30 again? I don't think that's going to happen, not with the ETF hype. So this channel here is something to kind of keep our eyes on. But as I pull up this Moxie indicator here, this green and red line, it is so close to flipping the zero right here and us getting a long signal on the weekly time frame for Solana could still take a month or so, So this is a long game. But we see Solana setting up higher highs, higher lows. It's in a channel. We have a clear level of resistance that if we could break and fire off, we'd have a nice launch to the upside that could then trigger a long signal of bullish momentum on the weekly time frame, which would tell us that Solana is ready to pump for probably a few months, right? But it hasn't had that long signal yet. It hasn't had that break to the upside. It hasn't gotten above key levels of resistance yet, but we see it setting up. And when we look at Ethereum on the flip side, Ethereum on the weekly time frame has gotten a long signal last week that is absolutely confirmed. It flipped above the Moxie.
Crazy chart. It's a crazy chart.
I know, it's a crazy chart if you go just long term here. And actually, hold on a second. I actually have... here we go. I was like, I don't have my things drawn here. So again, let me clean up my chart a little bit. It's a little messy. I just simplify it for educational purposes. So Ethereum is in this massive consolidation triangle. It has been since 2022. And unlike Solana, which is setting up for positive momentum, Ethereum is ahead of where Solana is right now. It has broken above a major line of resistance. Ethereum could fall down to $4,000 and still be set up to have the breakout of this triangle, the breakout target of which is above $7,000. And in fact, if we were to measure this, you want to measure this at the thickest point that the triangle first officially came into existence. So the first line of our top line of resistance was here. First line of our bottom line of support was here. We take this massive width of this candle and you put it on top of your breakout zone. This gives you a technical analysis target of $7,780 and 50 cents. You can't forget the 50 cents. Now that is a price target to be reached over the time period of months, and it would need to have a ton of buying coming in for the ETFs. You need to have staking get announced. You're going to have Ethereum's ETFs go crazy. Ethereum's ETFs have gone crazy, but as soon as you offer an interest-bearing ETF product that gives exposure to the crypto space, you're going to see retail level ETF investors who have been leading the market go crazy, in my personal opinion. And so, that's where Ethereum is. It's ahead of Solana. It's broken that major area of resistance. It has a crazy macro pattern to break. Solana doesn't have that right now. And it has the long signal on the Moxie. Everything that I'm seeing on the chart is saying that Ethereum is the leader right now. And XRP is doing great too. XRP is going up in value as the market is, but it doesn't have this long signal on the weekly time frame. It doesn't have this breaking of this consolidation pattern right now. So Ethereum is absolutely leading the altcoin market, which most people were already aware of, but these are all the reasons that we can see on the charts as to why it is leading as well. So Ethereum looks wonderful. And again, Ethereum could have a fall right now of 7% in instant. And if it held that and didn't go any lower, it would still be an amazingly bullish setup and would be a potential very, 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 very good buy opportunity. In fact, I would be tempted to do so. And that's that.
6 or 7? 6 or 7?
For the price target?
You said 7, right?
Yeah, it was 7,000. What did I say? 7,760? 7,700? Something like that?
6, 7's a good range for you.
Yeah,
start at that.
Give it a range. Gives me a little bit of buffer, Say that number one more time, says KLT. And here's the last thing that I'll say too, is if we are speculating on how the SEC approves these ETFs with staking turned on, because right now we have the Ethereum ETF, that's a spot ETF, it doesn't have staking. And we technically have a spot Solana ETF with staking, but it's offered from it's a very bad product on the market. There's no liquidity, no one's interested in buying it. I've talked about why it's a bad product before in the past, there are videos. But we would need a Solana ETF with staking offered by a BlackRock or Fidelity. So the SEC has until, the middle of November or it's the end of October to apply an approval notice on Ethereum staking ETFs. That's pretty damn close before they're out of time. So we're all expecting that to happen. And as we can clearly look at the market is clearly expecting that to happen. Everyone's trying to front run that notice. William has no idea what 6, 7 is right over his head. It's absolutely over my head, man. I stopped at 5. It's one hand's worth. It's over past that. But anyway, if I'm looking at this chart, it's telling me, if I'm getting speculative, that the Ethereum ETF with staking will get approved first and it will allow to run. And then sometime afterwards, there will be a Solana ETF with staking that'll get approved. Because if that was going to happen at the same time, then we would see both Solana and Ethereum most likely leading in the same way together. And also it allows market insiders to make way more money to front run Ethereum and then sell into the, hey, staking has been allowed for the ETFs. They sell into that pump, and then they start getting positioned for Solana before Solana then has that same initial lead, approval, correction, and then blast off. So that would just make the most sense because market insiders do what they do. That's what I'm looking at for the markets. That's what I'm reading, and that's what these charts are telling me on Ethereum and Solana.
So great read at the last minute here. I have my work laptop over here and I had it closed and the sound's on, and 2 Teams notification just came off and I'm getting triggered. Like, no. 8:35 p.m. Eastern. No pings. No.
Oh, that sound.
Oh, it's the worst. So my going back to what you were saying a minute ago on the ETH side of the equation, the targets, why can't I flip this stupid screen back here, man? There we go. I would not be shocked. So even though coming into this, I was, very bullish, I would not be shocked if the second half of August, early September, leading up to where a rate cut is maybe meh, like just not fantastic, which candidly, I actually would hope for, and then kind of set ourselves up for a very nice remainder of the year, just like it was in really 2024 and 2023. I want it off the top of my head, I think, right? The end of the Q4 was great the last 2 years.
And why do you think that? Why do you think that timing?
Only because we have been going up for essentially, let's call it 3 weeks, and I just want a lower high, and it just seems like this summer to me has been good. I feel like we've had a lot of
uncharacteristically bullish.
That's probably the best way. That's a nice way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost that even today I was saying there's no negativity on TikTok. Actually, TikTok never has negativity. There's no negativity on Twitter, on X. It's kind of like everyone's like in a good mood. Everyone's feeling good, and like everyone's making like these are signals for me that that's not how it works. Everyone usually supposed to be fighting each other. That's how the Twitter works. So
my timeline is still full of fighting.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Maybe because I just end up always in these meme communities now. So we have to do a segment on memes, because I have to tell you the reason I want to talk about it is just the differences between what a meme was in, let's say, 2024 when Pump.Fun was launching, like what KOLs were. There are no KOLs now. Well, there are, but it's different. Communities existed in Telegram. Now it's on X. They get stood up in second. It's just it's very fluid and very different. But at the same time, it's more just the race to the bottom because no one cares about anything besides making money, which I guess, all right, but there's no integrity. We're missing that integrity. It's not there. It's not here. Integrity.
I don't know, man. I feel like we're close with the same opinion, because I feel like in the second half of September you would start to see a correction. That would make sense to me, because that's when, let's see, the Fed. When did the Fed have their next meeting?
I think it's the 13th.
It's the middle of September.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
And it's according to market analysts, and this could change because we get CPI data tomorrow and we get PPI. This is inflation data, and inflation data again on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, that's right. CPA's tomorrow. That's, dude. I'm summer Doug's here. Like I'm doing really good at summer. Like really the best summer I've been doing it, like touching grass. And I'm not 100% in sync as I've been, but come 3 weeks from now, I'm locked in, dude. Locked in.
Oh, man. Well, right now there's an 85.4% chance on the Fed CME, and
that's it. It's actually a little 90s.
Well, it was like 94%. I think it was a week ago. Last time you and I were both talking about this, is about 96%. Now it's an 85.4% chance of us getting our first rate cut on September 17th. That is the next meeting. And so the markets, they front run things. They time in, they make decisions based on what things are going to happen in the future, not what things are happening, unless of course it's an absolute surprise. So you buy the rumor and you sell the news. So I think as we get closer to September 17th, you probably have the market slide a little bit. And historically, when we've gone through periods of rate hikes, then we get a cut, or long pauses between cuts, and then that first cut happens, typically you get a correction because people buy the rumor, sell the news, and then, luckily the news here is a pretty damn good thing from a macroeconomic standpoint for liquidity rising, which is helpful for all assets because more money around in the financial system, the more money that gets invested in things. Cutting rates helps with that. And so if we get, multiple rate cuts this year, two, maybe even three, probably not, but two, that helps to increase global liquidity. And this is the type of news that could, buy the rumor, sell the news, and create a much higher low, and then allow the markets to continue higher, right? That's the type of news that this is, as opposed to something that's a buy the rumor, sell the news, and then you crater back down to where you were. This is a very different event from this, but it should, air quote, should doesn't have to, but should create a buy the rumor, sell the news event, in my opinion. So keep your eyes on that for the middle of September, as something that could totally happen.
So there's a question in the chat here, not on just in general, like, oh, should I get out before tomorrow? So I was always one to look forward to like FOMC days, which is not tomorrow, rate decision days, but an economic indicator like CPI is one that does move markets. If you are not in a trade, just wait till after they come out at 8:30. Also too, just in general, I think I've mentioned this before, but the best times to trade, I'll get back to the economic point in a minute. The best time to trade in general, Monday through Friday, middle of the day, after the New York Stock Exchange is open, give it like an hour or two, because a lot of people, I'm sure you've seen on TikTok, they have streamers that literally just trade the open. And I'm semi jealous of them because they just look at one chart and
their day's done.
They're killing it. I'm like, nah, it's too boring. I want to stare at 1,000 charts. I want to build tools to narrow down the number of charts I should look at. Like, no, they start at one anyway. Whatever. It's boring. It's too easy. You need to be harder. So after those day traders or those morning traders get out, you get a good feel kind of where the markets go, especially after like 10-ish, 10:30. And that's a good time to look for a position. This is regards to stocks or crypto. And the reason I say Monday through Wednesday, because also too, there are folks who have targets for the entire week of like traders saying like, hey, I had this amount I target, and when I make that amount, I sign off for the week. Once I'll figure out how to do that one day. So by the end of the week, most of them are gone, especially in the summer. They're already heading to wherever they're going, right? Most of the guys on Wall Street, they're probably doing Hamptons, whatever, blah, blah. So you want to find when there's liquidity, when markets are moving, and there's lots of participation. You want more people trading in a market, which makes it more fluid and easier to trade. So, but back to the economic data point, I had always wanted to be there to try to trade the move. Like, it's like, hey, CPI comes out hot, let's say tomorrow, and markets nuke. I'm like, well, hey, I want to fade it. I want to look for a long then, or the alternative, right? It gets very, very difficult. I would highly recommend not doing it and wait for it to pass and let the market then observe it and like understand like, hey, this is how I'm going to react to it, and then look to trade. So no new positions until 10:30, 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow would be my recommendation. Anyone who is in a trade already, just have a plan. And if you're asking, should I get out? That means you may not have a plan. So make sure you have a plan from taking profits, and also from an invalidation if price moves in the unfavorable direction of whatever direction you're positioned in. So
yeah, I think that's great advice. Have a plan, execute on it. Don't let the emotions of the market movements and effects and immediate reactions to macro data shake you around, because the last number of big macro data releases that we got, like jobs report correction, the last CPI data that we got, I think that wasn't that great. Maybe that was 2 CPI reports ago, but I forget. But there have been a number of recent reactions to economic data that has resulted in an immediate pump or an immediate dump. And then at the end of the day, markets totally did the opposite thing,
Yep.
right? So you can really get caught with your pants down if you react emotionally and react too quickly to things. Allow for things to settle out, create a clear trading pattern, understand where the market is at, and then you can set a position, whatever that is.
No doubt. Sorry, I'm looking at chat here and like TikTok, and like there's bull market signs. We got, how do you feel about Tezos? Then we got Rismus. So I got meme coins for Christmas already, and I got Pudgy, Ondo. We're spread out. We're all across here.
There are 3 questions I wanted to address, and you mentioned pretty much all 3. One was, are we buying or selling tomorrow, right, in relation to the CPI news? And I'm not going to tell you what to do there. I have my positions already set.
Same.
And I have. and I'm buying Bitcoin and Solana every day, and I'm also buying a little bit of Morpho and a little bit of syrup every single day, just FYI. But I'm a little hopeful that the CPI data that comes out tomorrow could be good. And the reason why is, if this one isn't, it's going to be the next CPI report in a month that's going to be good. And the reason why I'm somewhat bullish on it is because the PPI inflation data that we got a month ago was solid. I mean, it was really good. And the reason why that matters is, for those of you who don't know, PPI inflation is the measurement of the cost of goods that businesses experience. So imagine a retailer, imagine a grocery store chain that purchases cereal from Kellogg, right? That's a B2B transaction. Imagine a company that makes chairs and they have to buy wood from some other company. That's a B2B transaction. The cost of those transactions as they go up and down, that is the measurement of PPI inflation. Now, as B2B costs go up and down, that affects the profit margin of companies, and then they push off cost changes to the end consumer. So what you see in PPI inflation will affect CPI inflation, because that's the measurement of the cost of goods that we experience when we go and buy stuff, okay? Now, there's a lag, though. In last month's PPI data was phenomenal. It was really good. It showed that inflation was cooling off really, really, really hard. But the CPI inflation that came out that month was hot. The lag between PPI's effect on CPI is somewhere between 1 to 3 months, right? It depends, because companies, if they see that inflation is cooling or heating up, they don't immediately push those costs off to end consumers. They want to see, hey, was this a one-time thing or is this a market trend? If it's a market trend, I then am willing to push those cost savings or cost increases onto my end customers and affect the market that way. So last month's PPI data was good. So that means that maybe it could start affecting the CPI in this month's data. And if it doesn't, it definitely should be affecting it in the month after that. So I'm hopeful that the CPI could be maybe good, maybe be at expectations tomorrow. We'll see. The other thing that makes me feel like it could is the insiders at the Fed CME that I showed you. So those market analysts, they're looking for rate cuts for sure in September, which means they probably think that the CPI data we're going to get is probably going to be pretty good and allow the Fed enough wiggle room to make rate cuts. But we'll see, because we've seen some economic data from the government not be super accurate lately. So we'll find out.
So, couple things. So you think we're going to come in either on target tomorrow or cool? Let's call it.
Yeah, I think CPI comes in on target or below expectations.
I think we come in hot.
We shall see, Doug.
So, also too, on the government data piece altogether, because I'm my past life is a very much in data management space, everything, governance, all the fun stuff, data quality. I was very curious about the process of the facilitation of the numbers and how one individual has said that they were manipulated, right? It's actually impossible. And the automation part of the equation, I won't go into too much details, towards like the latter half of the actual process, which has many people involved. It's tamper proof, and like that's the point. It's supposed to be governed. Now the data sources themselves, you could argue that there could be better ways at collecting data differently. Would 100% agree with that, and I think those things are. Actually, they talked to you about that a long time ago. I wanted to build a dashboard of alternate Fed, what's the GDP now? Or the Fed now? What's the GDP now, right? That calculator, to build a parallel path of other, data points that essentially give you, maybe enrich it or give you a different view of the same metric that you're trying to capture. So I don't know. It is what it is, but eventually it's like we can't trust anything. So
isn't the data that's collected for like the labor data just surveys of individual people and surveys of businesses?
Yeah, and then that's like who are you surveying? Who gets this thing? Well, what can I'll answer a survey. Actually, I don't like surveys, but I'll answer one.
Are you surveying? Because like the United States is so big, you have very, very different labor markets in the New York area, the Philly area, San Diego, LA, Chicago, Denver, New Orleans, Miami. It's all totally different. They're wildly different economies, right? So who are you surveying? And also, if you look at the sample size too, it's really not a very good sample size. It's something like You have 60,000 individuals who get surveyed, and I don't know how many people are in our workforce, but it's a little bit more than 60,000. A little bit more. And then it's about 100,000 businesses. That doesn't seem like that bad of a survey, but the 60,000 people is crazy small. It's crazy small. So even if it's accurate data and it doesn't get corrected, it still seems like it's a bad data sample that we're using.
Then you can also go to like who's actually taking the survey. What's the persona of the one doing that? Of like how their perception of their world is or not. Now, anyway, I have a feeling obviously it's going to be a conversation going forward in general, which is good. I think though that we should be talking about that and having multiple ways of understanding data sources and constantly looking for better ones that enrich that said data set, right? So what are we laughing at here?
I'm laughing at J Pill's comment on TikTok. If data comes in good, do the pump it up, come on, go pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Guys, come back. For those of you who don't know, who maybe you're not on TikTok much and maybe not even on the crypto side of TikTok, there are some egregious lives that you will find where some people are paid to just stream 24/7 for an extended period of time in a contract, and they just show some shitty coins chart, be like, come on guys, you gotta buy, yeah, come on, get pump it up, and they just play music in the background, and it's really funny. And I do like commenting on their lives. This is a violation of SEC security laws. Just FYI. Anyway, have a good day. Yeah, this is a violation of securities laws. Bye.
Dude, you just reminded me too of that song. You just reminded me of a time when crypto was fun. I got lucky with Solana NFTs early on, and I got a Solana monkey business. Shout out. Like, it's one of the few NFTs I still have that's actually my profile picture, SMB. And at that time, they were like the, NFT project. There were only like 20, 25 in the first couple months back then. And I was in the Discord server, and Steve Aoki was there, showed up. He got a monkey. And they were playing that. Then they were playing that song in the, in the VC. I'm like, all right, crypto's cool. This is cool.
I would love to know how much money Steve Aoki lost on NFTs.
Yeah, but it was a good time. Yeah, see, look, it's monks in here too in the chat. I love it. Yeah. Anyway, good time.
The other comment I wanted to address is there was a question which was how is Jerome Powell okay with Ondo? And Ondo affects nothing that Jerome Powell cares about. Jerome Powell, for what you guys, for anyone who doesn't know, he's the head of the Fed. The Fed is the central bank of the United States. The central bank sets monetary policy, and their entire priority is maintaining the health of the U.S. dollar and the health of the U.S. labor market. And they have some, third level and fourth level things that they care about as well, like the bonds market, and they do care about the health of the stock market a little bit too. But it's really just those two things, right? Ondo doesn't affect or threaten either of those two things, right? In fact, if Ondo expands, that means crypto's expanding, which means the demand for stable coins expands, which means the demand for the dollar expands, which means the demand for U.S. bonds also expands, and it actually helps the Fed, right? Because Ondo is just, it's a tokenization of real-world assets play, right? It's a market to tokenize stocks, tokenize real things, and fractionalize it, and increase liquidity into markets, and reduce the barriers of entry to financial markets and things of that nature, right? None of that is a concern at all to Jerome Powell or the Fed. So I just wanted to address that and clear that up.
I couldn't even see. Does he even know Ondo exists? Does he know? Does he care? I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares.
He doesn't care at
He's
all.
got his consistent day. And by the way, I will back Jay Powell and his methodic process and how he's actually able to respond to some of the questions. I couldn't do that job. Couldn't do it. Love him or hate him. Couldn't do it. So.
I love watching Jerome Powell at interviews because he's so tired and fed up with everybody. But I feel like when he's away from the cameras, he really loves his job. And this moment that we are seeing him is his least favorite moment about the job.
Facts, 100%.
He's like, I don't want to talk to people. I just want to deal with numbers, dude. Just, oh God, why did I take this job?
How did my career end this way? Because I'm assuming, would he have retired 2026? I mean, assume he's got to retire. Outside of the conditions that are now, right? The additional stress.
What do you do after you're the head of the SEC? Like what's more up than this for you?
I don't know. No, I was
Make
gonna say,
meme coin and pump it up. You gotta pump it up. I guess that's next.
there are so many Jerome meme coins. Oh my gosh. There's
But what if Jerome Powell made the official Jerome Powell meme coin? He just pulls a Trump family. That'd be wild.
that would I would sell every I would ape into that so hard.
I'd throw $100 at him. I'd be like,
my
here you go, Papa Powell. Here's $100. And then just watch it go. Oh god.
And then he stood there with throwing like money guns to just shoot out money, like dollar bills, just sitting around.
Oh god, it'd be just one step further to idiocracy.
Oh, we're I think we're there. We're very there.
All I need is a wrestler to become president. No, do it. Just let it happen.
Rest in peace,
Just
Hogan.
let it happen, and then we can all work for Gatorade, and then it gets rebranded to Brando.
Actually, did you speak? Did you see the whole? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bring it up because it just brings crypto down further. Let's move on. What do you want to look at next?
Move on, guys. I want to look up. Sorry, I'm just laughing. I just got a comment on TikTok. It goes tiny green Powell cock, but cock is COQ like cocky new on Avalanche. I'm just like, that's also wonderful. So I want to pull up Bitcoin's chart real quick, and then we'll take a couple suggestions from the audience for coins that you guys want us to chart and take a look at and find some resistance and support and stuff like that. So let me share my screen.
You got to pump it up, don't you know?
It's the only thing going through my head right now. And someone was like, "Yeah, I hate it. I hate that also." But at the same time, the song is awesome. The song is awesome. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame here, let me just make this a little bit bigger, right? So today we had all the super fun, happy times from Sunday into Monday come crashing down. But you can see that the daily close we've had here is above this top line of our channel. Things are still looking pretty damn bullish for Bitcoin. However, if we come to the futures chart here, oh, sorry to blind you. Hang on a second. My internet catches up. We can see that we have not filled the bearish gap on the futures chart yet. In fact, let me just do right here. This is what we're looking at. So we're still looking for Bitcoin to sell off a little bit to close this gap, ideally at $118,405. It could close that gap, and then once that gap is closed, that is still pretty much right down, coming down to the top line of support here. So we can close that gap and still maintain the bullish breakout of this pattern. Once that gap is closed, we are potentially free and clear to move higher. But you know, we do have a nasty wick here back on July 14th at $123.2 thousand. Now we have a nasty wick here, right? That's not necessarily a vote of confidence for Bitcoin at these levels, but I think this is more so generated simply to go down and try to fill that gap for the market, make the market happy by, you know, scratching that itch in our silly little monkey brains, and then, you know, continue higher, because the breakout here wants to potentially send Bitcoin to $133,000. So if we can hold this top line of support, you know, we could still see some fireworks as we head into that September 17th rate cut decision. So that CPI data report that we're going to get tomorrow morning will be very, very important. I'm personally hoping that tonight we can actually sell down and close that gap, and that gap can just be done with. And then the CPI could come out, and that would, you know, lift up the markets. If we go higher tonight, and then the CPI comes out, I'd be like, shit, I bet the CPI data is going to be bad, and it's going to come out and it's going to knock us down to fill that gap, and then we got to see how the market settles. So we'll see. But
so on that note, I was wondering why like there was a sell-off this afternoon, because it's almost like you always think it's like someone knows something. Like everyone's definitely taking profits today on that big move up in midday, and you see it across the board with stocks. It just seems like it was, you know, I don't know. So
it was just the futures market, man. I mean, to me, it was just that there was a massive gap. And the reason why Bitcoin went up so much on Sunday night is because there were a ton of short positions on Binance's liquidity market that all got liquidated. There's a huge liquidation of shorts that happened that allowed Bitcoin to extend Sunday night into Monday, because typically Bitcoin goes up on a Saturday, typically sells off Sunday evening when the futures market opens up to close any gap. And it wasn't able to do that because just short liquidations were forcing buys in the market to continue higher. So this to me is just the natural correction to come down and do what the market really wanted to do Sunday evening, which was to fill that gap. And that's that. Guys, we will take some suggestions for coins. I already see one from BBOB, which is a great name, by the way, for Sonic. We can do that as well. And in the meantime, you guys take a second to let us know what coins you want us to take a look at, and we will do that for the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so. And I think this is a good time to let you guys know that if you are not already a member of our community, it is totally free to join. The Rise Up community is over on Circle. You can go to RumsHQ, RUMSHQ.com, or the Rise Up Morning Show, HQ.com, and find the link to the Circle community where you can go and ask myself. Doug's there as well. Evan, Alex, any questions that you have about being on chain, check their technical analysis questions. If you are a developer and you're looking to talk shop with folks, or you're looking to learn how to code, we have a developer hub as well. We also have a place where we will be posting job openings in the crypto space as well, with from our friends in the crypto space, in case you're interested in applying for jobs or learning how to get a job in Web3 if it is your passion. It is totally free to join our community. There is a paid membership that is premium. It's $30 a month. There's a 10-day free trial though, so try it to see if you like it, because there's a ton of discounts for courses, digital assets that we have. By digital assets, I mean guides, walkthroughs, strategy guides as well. That could be a great value to you, and also typically anything that you buy gets you your money back from 1 month's subscription to premium. Anyway, head over there. Again, go to RumsHQ, RUMSHQ.com. Find the link to the Circle community. You can also find it on the link on my profile page. Hope to see you in there. Now, Doug, I know you have a chart up, but I saw Sonic, I see ZBEC, I see AERO as well, XRP, Kibo Shib, so let's...
We got a lot here.
Let's get crazy.
One note on the Circle community, by the way, I gotta say, I'm pretty picky about the tech I use, also just as much as my bagels and pizza. Like, I'm a snob. I am liking the Circle app in general. There's a couple things I would just, but like I see the benefits over Discord, and I'm excited to be there. So yeah, definitely come stop by.
We are telling the Circle community though that they need to step up their emoji game.
Ooh, I was gonna say I only got 6 options. I got 6. Why can't you see the drop? It's just like come on.
And also, they released dark mode for the mobile app. I will say the desktop is a little bit of a better experience for Circle. The mobile app is good. The desktop is better, but they got to release the dark mode for mobile app. Otherwise,
there's no dark mode for the mobile.
There's no dark mode for mobile.
I'm not downloading it. I'm not downloading.
I'm not downloading. See, that's it. That's what we're telling people in Circle. I was like,
nope.
You gotta step it up, going slow and step it up. But the security's way better, the communication's way better, the organization's way better. It's less messy and chaotic than Discord, and yet still set up the same way. It does make me wonder. I'm like, Discord, what are you doing? Like, you can just fix a few things so easy.
So yeah, shout out to Circle almost completely. But anyway, so this is Sonic. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I know Sonic's. Wait, does Sonic have to do with FTM? I'm thinking of something else.
No, Sonic was... God, what was Sonic? Alex is screaming into the void right now.
I'm just a chart guy. I don't know.
Anyway.
Sonic is its own chain, right? Anyway, regardless. This... I don't hate the chart. I mean, it's kind of doing this here. You're just looking for some strength to move back up here. I would like, why is this orange?
It's a higher low.
Yeah, no, I do like that. I see. That's a good point. If I really zoom in, there's a 3-day chart. I don't know. I feel like you get one more, maybe that, and then there's some crypto move like you just wouldn't expect, right? The easiest level for me here.
Moves.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, I wouldn't do that. Then it does it. 25 cents. There's your level. Like 25 cents.
Interesting. I'm looking at 38 cents.
Am I looking at the wrong ticker then? Is that what I'm looking at here?
No. But I'm also looking at the daily chart, and you're looking at the 3-day chart. So doesn't mean we're not wrong. It doesn't mean neither one of us is right.
So let's put it this way. The reason I'm sharing this here is that I would consider to start a position if it was I did not have a position, would be on a move up above 25 cents here, right there. Right here's where I would start a position, and then see how it reacts up here, and that's when I would add more. So, but the 25 cents is the first level to get above. But to your point, Will, where you're going, 35 cents up here is probably the level where you could actually get bullish and look for some attempt to even get back up here 60, 70. This sell-off was just so bad, though.
Interesting. So, I'm looking at Sonic UST on Bitfinex, and I have a price of 30 cents.
UST?
Yeah, UST.
Is that even a thing anymore? Didn't didn't that
You mean
that die?
Tether?
US, USDT?
Wait a second. Am I doing the goof?
You pumped Luna stable? Is UST still a thing?
Oh, UST is still a thing. Yeah, this is not USDT. Yeah, no, I was not looking at Tether. Okay.
Oh, wow. Now I see the price history here.
Here we go. I am now looking at the correct chart. See, guys, what happens to everybody.
Interesting. Yeah, this eventually does this. This eventually does that. I just don't know if it may have to do this first. Some noise down here, but yeah, it's all right. There's some better markets. What else we got? What other ones? Sonic is the old FTM. I'm right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was FTM. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, now that I'm looking at the correct chart, I'm in total agreement with you on those levels. Before I was like, what the hell's going on here?
It's an Andre special.
Yeah. Let's see. We had Aerodrome was one. We had AVEX. We had Cardano. There was an XRP mention in there. We have Ton. There was another one as well that I thought was unique.
No, I'm not doing this anymore. This is the time we find Doug's old charts, and we don't like this. We don't like this.
Taking a look at Aerodrome.
Yeah.
Whenever Aerodrome does well, I find out about it very quickly because everyone was.
I enjoyed your AERO videos.
Oh yeah.
Back then, that was on the account that you now have back. Congratulations, by the way. Are we on that account right now or no?
We are on that account right now.
Nice.
I'm looking at Aerodrome. If Aerodrome comes down to $1.06 to $1.04, that'd be a really good potential buy opportunity, in my opinion.
I got one of these here.
What do you see?
Don't love the channel all the way up because it's almost like I feel like it has to come. Yeah, I 90, 80. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, I'm sorry. This is great. I realize what time frame is on. This is nice. This is great strength. You're right. This is here.
I was like,
yeah. Oh yeah, this is sexy. This is good.
Yeah, Aerodrome looks solid here.
Yeah, no doubt. 100% bullish.
Where do you see a good spot to buy? Because I see it potentially, if it cools off a little bit more here, like I said, that $1 and 1 cent to $1.05.
I mean, I guess I don't know how volatile something like this could be. This is not actually on a.
See, that's the thing with Aerodrome. It falls hard because
if it falls hard, I would if I bid this, I'd stack some bids. Right, hold on here. Like I'd stack some bids all the way from $1.05 down to 96 cents. Just have more heavily weighted on the higher end of the dollar, right? That's there, and just like hope you get one of those, one of these big moves down. Just that's it, and then send. That's not even that far, but just something real quick.
Yeah, because one of the things, guys, if you don't know, Aerodrome has a very high issuance of supply, so it adds more weight to the coin. So it's harder for the market to drive it higher because more supply gets issued onto the market than most other coins. So it does have a tendency to fall harder than others. But right now we're seeing strength on the chart. And yeah, laddering buys between $1.06 to 90 cents.
Yeah, I mean, if markets recover here, it looks like ETH is actually bouncing really nice from the lows. By the way, but ETH, if we do get some recovery here very quickly, this could just move right now. I mean, this could have totally. Like that could just do that. So
because Aerodrome is going to be one of those coins that benefits the most from Ethereum doing really well.
So it's funny you say that. I need to update my chart. I used to have a ETH beta list. Also something that I wish is out there. Easy ways to hey, can I pull all the tokens that are within the ETH? I know you can do it from CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, but the problem is they don't necessarily always have the best pairs that work well with trading, depending on which app you're using. So I really wanted the high quality ETH betas that are associated with ETH as a list. Be very nice to have. As I'm looking at this, I think ETH's gonna.
I think ETH's gonna.
Unless this thing finds strength overnight up here, I think we get a decent pullback.
Yeah, there's I forget where I found it. Where was it? It was a different site, but it was a measurement of liquidity heat map for Ethereum, and there's a ton of liquidations up at like 4,800 for shorts. There's also a ton of liquidations of longs at like 3,600.
Yeah, this is an area of interest. What I used to do, and actually, you know what? Remind me of this. I'm going to do this in the Rise Up community. I'll make it in the channel. I used to do lists of areas of interest. I used to do it on TikTok in the morning, where I basically go through and list my areas of interest for a long. Like we may never get it, but hey, it's one of those things that it comes into that area. Like I wanna pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then basically up here too. Right here's your short. So it's like this. That's it.
I still don't see Ethereum going below $3,943.10. Be very specific.
I was gonna say, like, that's super.
Yeah, that's that top level of support on that macro pattern that we were talking about.
We're a good match because you actually are looking at the actual technicals, and I'm just like, nah, here up. Where did that look? Okay, we're good there. That's perfect. It's perfect. It works out great.
I mean, though, just like looking at the chart, like us coming back down to that major consolidation zone where the price just went to the side is where it would find support.
Yeah, right about there.
But if I zoom out to to show 4 years of price history, there's a super strong area of support at 3,900, just below $4,000.
Yeah. I saw that popping up. All right, what else we got? Sorry, I moved on here.
Let's see. The people always, Ton Coin. Actually, that'd be fascinating. I haven't looked at Ton Coin ever.
Is Ton still? Wasn't the founder? Is he back? Didn't he go to jail? No, he didn't. He got.
It was the CEO of Telegram. He got arrested. I don't know what happened to him though. But hey, I'm actually seeing Ton Coin having a little bit of a potential setup. It hasn't done anything yet, from what I'm looking at. But
I could argue you're right.
I'll show my chart to you in a second, because I'm looking at some of the more technical stuff.
You flip 370 straight shot to almost $5.
Oh, I'm saying if you flip 354, I think you got a super, super strong chance. But you're saying $5?
No, so it's shot to $5. If I look at this right here, I'm saying like this. I just don't like how this is kind of overextended. I think this might come back. Oh, like this. If this pulled back here, absolutely long. Otherwise, right here. But once you flip this area, this 384, then it's a quick shot up there.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Let's see. This is what I'm looking at. Let me share my screen.
Let me flip here. I'm singing to sleep tonight, by the way.
Time frame. Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm singing "Pump It Up" to.
I'm still singing "Pump It Up." I cursed myself. This is a cursed stream. But here's what I'm looking at. So I'm on the daily time frame here, and I see that there was this wedge. I really like to trade wedges. We saw that Ton Coin held the breakout of that wedge right here. The breakout target of this wedge, if we measure the thickest point when it first came into existence, the top line started here, the bottom line started here. We have a breakout target too. Hey, look at that. $4.96, right to that $5 target that Doug found in a totally different way, which does also reconfirm that $5 is a damn strong area of resistance.
And that I'm not crazy. Yes.
And that you're not crazy. And they have a natural sense for finding this stuff. But also $5 is a key psychological number, which ends up being resistance support as well. The other thing that I'm looking for here too, and also that'd be a big move for Ton Coin, by the way. The other thing I'm finding here is the reason why I said $3.53, if it can flip that, you would have potential blast off here, is because this orange line is the 200-day exponential moving average. that's sitting at $3.53. If you can get above that, hold that into support, you could have that blast off to $5. That's what I'm looking at for Toncoin. Also, I'm seeing momentum for Toncoin being very healthily towards the bullish side. The relative strength index is still very neutral, not overbought at all. You have plenty of room to run to potentially get to that $5 target if Toncoin can get a move on. And also, past few days, its price has been holding up great over the past selling today. So I'm liking that. So that's Toncoin. Do we dare show XRP?
By the way, what's it at? Did it hit 538 yet? Is that the number? 587. I think it's 587, right? That's the
what XRP?
Yeah, is that the number? Isn't that the target? Like 587 bucks? 587 bucks? Isn't that the target?
Man. Isn't it $10,000?
No, I think that's a little crazy, Will. There's I heard 587.
I see people say it all the time. However, like I poke fun at it, but I think XRP is a great coin to trade. I think it's a great
589. Thank you. That's there we go.
Why 589?
When Monk's got me in check down here. Hey, you know, if you want that answer, just there's a couple TikTok lives you can go on. You will get the dissertation of exactly why.
I'm gonna turn the stream off. I'm just gonna quietly go to my room and play Pump It Up.
Wow, Dad, this thing moved. I haven't went to this chart so long.
Oh wait, and sharing.
At a glance, I would take profits. I see this, and then this is going to be the determining factor if XRP does this or does this.
What are you looking at that is telling you that it's going down?
My gut. Like I don't have a good way to explain it. I just looked at charts for so long. I kind of just see it. Like I see the simulation of the matrix playing out. And that's what I see just there. Yeah.
So I see a potential.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but that's but in reality, it's up here. If it stays above 280, bullish. This up here, that. This is a more realistic path. What I was showing is if we get a pullback. This needs to stay above 290. Can't lose 290.
One of the things I love about talking with you, Doug, is that you will get to the exact same answer as me in an entirely different path.
I don't know if I have a path. We just get there.
Well, you have a path, and it's invisible to me, but you are the shaman of it, and you get there because how I get to that exact same answer is through the technicals here. So here's XRP. This is my chart. It's very colorful because I'm looking at Fibonacci retracement levels, and that's why we're here. So I see a lot of potential support here at $3.05. However, if $3.05 breaks, it's a clear fall to the 55-day exponential moving average, which is $2.82. You said $2.80. Now, if you even had a fall all the way down to $2.70, you would not only be finding support on a key Fibonacci retracement level, but you would also be potentially setting a double or triple bottom based on previous price history. So a correction to either one of these levels would still be setting up a bullish pattern here on XRP's chart. So keep your eyes on that. But you're looking at $3.05. You're looking at $2.82, in my personal opinion, which is exactly what Doug said. At $2.80 could be the move here. I'm still seeing overall bullish momentum on the Moxie indicator for XRP. So any further correction, I'm expecting to still have more of a bullish setup, which would be a higher low or a double bottom. And that's what I would expect in this scenario, but we'll see what happens.
So if you want to learn the way that how to chart that I did, this is a secret, Will, ready? You got to go during a bear market. Just do over trade, over leverage, lose tens of thousands of dollars, and then you'll figure it out. Like that's basically how to do it.
See,
so.
I've already lost tens of thousands of dollars in the 2017 bull market. Actually, it was over $100,000. So let's not do that, and I'm gonna do it this way.
Perfect. Perfect. By the way, quick note, I'll show you this. I'll show you this meme just because I've been following it. What chart does this look like right now? We were just looking at a chart that looks like this. What chart is it?
We were just looking at a chart like that.
It was a weekly chart. It was a weekly chart.
Oh, that was was it?
Yeah,
Ethereum?
yeah,
It was
Ethereum. Yeah, it's Ethereum, right? So this I just noticed this.
I was about to say, I swear to God, if I'm looking at Farcoin right now.
No, well, this is 6.7.
Oh, we're looking at Radium. Oh, sweet, yeah. I love Radium. Hell yeah, go Radium.
So, but so it's just so the reason I shared it is because I want to show a real chart in a minute here. Is because it's the same patterns present themselves in different time frames, and now this is my new adventure is really trying to understand what types of patterns like that, how frequent they move on different time frames across different types of markets. So I'll call them asset classes. I almost said meme coins are an asset class, but in different types of markets and the similarities. But to me, it's all the same manipulation to the end. So
kind of.
All right, Sui. Oh man, dude, I'm so mad at Sui, dude.
Oh wow.
This was such a nice chart.
We had that drawn there a while ago. We're looking at the weekly chart. Wow, yeah, you drew that.
This long here, and then this one too. Another chart I missed.
Like, man, you almost made so much money right there.
Yeah, yeah. So now again, at a glance, without looking here, I see this. I see Sui has to hold this level, and I need to get my little squiggle out here. Sui needs to get up here. It needs to be above $4 to do that. Otherwise, I'm not saying that, but like that's a dangerous territory. But still, this market, regardless, like I would love for this thing to come back much further down so I could actually have a position.
I wouldn't see it going for. Actually, I'm curious. How far down could you expect it to go?
Oh, well, it depends on broader markets, but like, just where that goes. But if I look at this, where this could go, if it's like full on crypto, well, it's Sui. So Sui is different, but I could see this doing this, like down back below here, below $2. If I'm really being honest, like a really big correction like that. This would mean the bull market that we expected for crypto is not happening.
Below, I was about to say, I was looking at my chart and I was like, damn, if it's below $2, like that means it's like market's dead.
Above $3 bullish, below $3 not bullish at all. Like that's basically where above $4 sooner above $4 the better.
Your statement of if we're above $3 or below $3 bullish, for the most part, I agree. Based on what I'm looking at too, $3 is a key level because I'm gonna swap screens here real quick, grab it afterwards. Because what I'm looking at on Sui is I have our Fibonacci retracement tool on our chart. Key levels of support immediately. Upcoming, $3.50 should be a very, very, very strong area of support that could catch us. Fibonacci retracement levels right there. The 55-day exponential moving average is right there. If it dips below, support at $2.90 is the next Fibonacci retracement level, but the 200-day exponential moving average is at $3.13. 200 simple moving average is at $3.20. I would expect that 320 to 314 area to catch us and continue upwards. I see momentum on the Moxie, still very bullish. I see the stochastic RSI and the RSI still neutral, so not an overbought or oversold territory at all. I would expect a bounce at $3.50 if we get good CPI data tomorrow. If SWI came down to $3.50, I would expect that to be a great buy. It'd be a higher low while we have bullish momentum, good data to push the market forward, higher. If it's bad data and the market dips lower, I would certainly be looking to try to buy some at $3.16, $3.23. That's what I'd be looking at. I don't really see it going below $2.91. That to me, a little bit more specifically, would be the, ooh, wow, crypto market's really tanking. It might be for a while. Or it's, if we're above that, we're solid.
On the same page there. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You know what? I realized we gotta be aware of the time here. Whoop, there goes my thing here.
Wait, there was one of the first requests over on YouTube for an altcoin was ZBAC.
ZBAC? Okay, we'll pull up ZBAC.
Too. Let's pull up ZBAC. That'll be the last one.
Was it my boy Wes? Wes is all about the ZBAC. Let's see here. Shout out Wes. All right, home. ZBAC.
Creative access. ZBCN.
Oh no.
Did you have another drawing? Oh.
Above here, good. Red direction, unless green goes sideways. Oh, this is my area of interest. Oh, there it is. There's the arrow going up.
Oh, there it
There it goes.
There it goes. You almost.
We're deleting all these drawings. They're gone. Done.
Dougie, so close, man. I mean, you're doing great. Your trades have been doing phenomenally. But
so ZBAC's how big is this market? How big is this? This is like a 50 million? No, more than that.
ZBCN coin market cap. I'll tell you in a second.
I'm gonna zoom back out. Oh, about here we go. There we go. There's better view here.
Work. It is a $23 million. Oh no, that's volume. It is a $431 million market cap.
Okay, I use memes in my head to get perspective on that. Okay, got it. So we're talking like PopCat, a little bigger than PopCat. Okay, it really is irrelevant to this conversation. I don't know why. I was just curious.
I really enjoy that you look at utility token and you're like, the only way I can possibly understand this is if I think about it as a meme coin.
Nothing is utility. Exactly.
There are utility only crypto people just looking at you like, you son of a bitch. To be fair, that used to be unequivocally me.
Yeah. So what I see is a lot of selling going on here. I know ZBAC had a massive run up. Everyone and their mother was talking about it on the TikTok. Yeah, I actually bought it before I heard it on the TikTok. Nasty sell off, nice bounce here altogether. However, with this, let me see. I'm gonna check the once in a while pull an indicator here. Yeah, at the moment, it looks good. It's bullish, but I would see this. I'd want this, and I want this, and then I want this. So I want the somewhat, I don't want to call this freaking patterns, whatever. I want to pull back into your 40 cent or 004, 0037 move big. Give me some demand, give me a bounce, and then right above 52 cents here, like right there. Now give me a different color. Give me like a blue. Give me a blue. That's so I could argue setting some bids down here to your 0042 down to 0035, get a bounce. And then I personally am a breakout trader. So I prefer waiting for this move up here. So I want to wait for the big blowout to take out these highs, pull back, and then confirm that it's able to flip this level that was previously resistance. And then I would long here. And also too, it's confirming the breakout of the downtrend, which is my favorite setup, which is strength, breakout of the downtrend, and excuse me, confirmed flip of a key resistance level, previous key resistance level on a higher time frame. But yeah, this is my chart.
Route.
What's up?
That's the safe route. Nothing is safe, but you want to play a confirmed move and everything, and the momentum is fully behind you, so you can make more winning trades. And if I look at ZBAC, I see selling as well in the future.
Yeah, it's
because if I'm sharing my screen here, Doug, do you mind throwing my screen onto? Or the tiki-taki folks? Good. So I see, if we're looking just at the daily candle right here, making this big. Granted, this candle has 22 hours to go before it closes, but it's starting off not the greatest right now with this long wick here. But when I zoom out to more of this macro pattern, and really just the past couple weeks, I see that these highs here, this is barely a higher high, and that is a sign that momentum is rounding over, right? So that was a sign to you that this dip was here. And typically when you get that kind of technical analysis pattern, it typically dips further in my personal experience. And I will say, the daily stochastic RSI is a phenomenal bottom indicator, and it is showing oversold territory here. So if you really like ZBAC, doesn't seem like a bad dollar cost average opportunity to me here, but I would be waiting to see if we could get a bullish candle off of this key support level of their Fibonacci retracement. If we look at yesterday's candle, we didn't get that. This is a red candle that barely had a bounce upwards at all. the bulls did not come in and buy at this level. So I, as someone reading this chart, don't have a reason to think that the bulls are coming in to continue to blow past this. So if we see the next fall here past this point of support in our Fibonacci retracement level at 0.00472, that next fall is down to pretty much 0.004 on the dot. And that would be the next major area of support that, if we had a break, would be a great buy for ZBEC, because it would be really overextended as oversold on the daily stochastic RSI. And then you would have that potential rebound blast off that Doug was talking about. So that's what I'm seeing on ZBEC's chart.
No doubt. All right. I think we're good. Want to respect your time here. And, I was going to say something. No, it's gone. It's gone.
There's a comment also. Oh, someone asked a comment. Why does your boy Alex say that ISO 20022 compliancy is like just slapping a bumper sticker on a car? Because effectively it is. And here's the reason why. So we have this is actually a funny experiment. It's not the answer I was about to give, but we have a developer in our community. He works for Base now. He didn't used to, but he started, I think, like 9 months ago. But he went and made Ethereum ISO compliant by adding one line of code to it, and he did it in about 20 minutes. You know, and it's like that's the thing is. But here's the issue is the story around ISO 20022 compliancy. It's good. It's good to be ISO 20022 compliant. You know, it's not a bad thing. Not saying that at all. But the commentary that Alex gives and holds very true is that the story out there is you should buy this token because it's ISO 20022 compliant, which means that financial institutions who have to maintain that standard and that regulation will have to use it. But guys, like, why would these financial institutions just be like sitting on their laurels, knowing that this compliancy regulation is coming up, and just do nothing about it, and then have to go and use a crypto solution? They just made themselves ISO 20022 compliant in their own traditional systems, which are incredibly heavily regulated. The financial services space is an incredibly heavily regulated space, and any regulation you have to adhere to, you have to just walk that tight and narrow line of rules and regulations. And you have to use certain things and do things a certain way. Otherwise, you get fined out the ass. You're not going to go use experimental technology built on a public blockchain. ISO 20022 compliancy is nice, but it's literally just a check mark on a box of things as to why maybe someone would potentially use it someday in the real world. But it's not a very powerful reason, because the people you're trying to convert to using crypto solutions have already found a solution to ISO 20022. That's it. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good thing to have. It's not a bad thing at all. It's a positive thing, sure. It's just not the reason why a crypto is going to blow up. And if the more time you spend in the space, the more time you see people just slap a new bumper sticker on their crypto project with the new latest trend, metaverse. Oh wait, shit, that fell off. Okay, ISO 20022 compliance. Oh shit. Okay, wait, that fell off. I don't know, layer 2, layer 3 or something, although layer 2 is great, layer 3 is great, but ISO 20022 compliance is also good. So, but it's all just a marketing scheme and ploy. But that is it, guys. That is the show for the evening. Doug, do you have any final thoughts? Words of wisdom? Joke?
I don't. I think as of right now, I'm the conditions today. I'm somewhat euphoric's the wrong word. I'm surprised. I can't remember of when markets kind of just moved the way they did today. Actually, it's this weekend. Yesterday through today, and I'm trying not to get ahead of myself and get too excited that maybe they're we could be entering a period of fun again. And when I say fun, it's like everyone's a genius mode. Everyone's a genius season. We haven't had that in a while, and I'm trying to gauge if that's.
Still don't think we get that.
I don't know if we're gonna get that. I don't know, but today it felt that way, and yeah. So I'm just gonna take that win and go to sleep.
If we get CPI data tomorrow, at least until September 17th, you're gonna have a lot of people looking and feeling smart, and a lot of people FOMOing in and buying an opportunity there that you could still make money, but it's going to get closer and closer and closer to to like a local top. I'm personally still of the opinion that Bitcoin's going up and to the right with maybe 15 to 30% corrections along the way until about 2028 or so, maybe 2027. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes up. That's just my own theory. With that, everybody, we're going to ride our dogs and ponies and cats and cows into the sunset, except the sunset a little while ago. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, myself, Evan, and Alex will be live tomorrow morning. Oh, actually, I won't be there. I won't be on the show tomorrow because I am traveling.
I'll jump in. I'll swap. You need me? You tag me in. I'll jump in.
And you're going there. Yeah, the boys would love you.
All right.
And so my Doug, I keep wanting to say myself, Doug, Evan, and Alex will be live tomorrow morning. So go in and check them out at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And then tomorrow when you wake up, focus on doing good things, being good people, and making a whole bunch of money. We'll see you guys later.